Tonight I watched a movie I'd been meaning to watch for quite a while. I remember distinctly having a conversation with my friend, her when she was just finishing up her first year of law school. I was having this big long conversation with her on the phone. I hadn't talked to her in a while, and I asked her what it was like, and she's like, "Have you seen The Paper Chase?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Okay, watch The Paper Chase, and you'll know." And I was like, "Okay." And this was like probably 2010. So this has been like 6 years. I feel like a terrible friend. Sorry, friend, that it took me 6 years to watch this movie to understand what it was like for you your first year of law school. But also, oh my God, I can't believe you made it through that. Because that sounds like living hell. So The Paper Chase, as it sounds, is about someone's first year in law school, and particularly in this case, Harvard Law School. The person being played by Timothy Bottoms, who you'll probably remember from the Last Picture Show, which you better have seen by now. If you haven't, go watch the Last Picture Show and then come back. Um, but so this was written and directed by James Bridges. I don't think I've seen any of his other films. One that I recognized the title of was Bright Lights Big. Oh my God, Bright Lights Big City or Big City. Yeah, Bright Lights Big City. It's a Michael J. Fox film from the '80s that I have not seen. It's based on The Paper Chase is based on a novel. It's probably best known now for John Houseman's Oscar-winning performance. It was his first after working in theater and being a stage manager for the likes of Orson Welles and UCLA and many other places. He finally played this role after the director had tried to cast multiple people and like James Mason and several others and was unable to. And then John Houseman comes in and just like kills it in his film debut at like 60 something as the like the hard ass professor. So Timothy Bottoms, he's from the Midwest. He's going to Harvard. He joins a study group. Everyone in the study group's an asshole. One of them is Edward Herman from Gilmore Girls, and one of them is it not David Naughton? David Naughton's brother. I had this a second ago. James Naughton, David Naughton's brother. You'll remember David Naughton because he's a Pepper and also the American Werewolf from London. He's the American Werewolf in London, not from London. Doesn't make any sense. So there's lots of infighting and stress because it's law school and it's hard and you have to have the right kind of brain for law school. You also have to steal things and be mean to each other. And he also meets a girl played by Lindsay Wagner, who later you find out is his evil professor's daughter. Something that I think is strange. The daughter and the lawyer and the kid, there's no scene with them. As far as you know, the law school professor never finds out that his daughter is dating one of his students. I found that really strange. The main thing I didn't like about the film was her character because she wasn't a character. She had no personality. We didn't really know anything about her. She was not fleshed out. She's practically the only woman you see. You see her. You see like the one most stressed guy's wife, and that's it. And all you know is like she's a wife and about to have a baby, and maybe she comes from a rich family, and this girl is a freewheeling rich kid, and that's all you get to know about them. And it's like, I need more from my women characters. I don't care if this is 1973. It is 1973, and there are plenty of films with more nuanced female characters. I really hate Love Story. I think it's a terrible film, and that character in Love Story has more nuance than the women in this one. But that's because this film's not really about the women, so they don't need to be fleshed out. Because it's really mostly about this one dude and all the other dudes and like dudes, man. Although I will give it to the like background casting because there are plenty of women peppered throughout the classroom scenes and many of them speak. So it's nice that it shows that women like exist. But it would be nice if the one female character actually felt like a real woman who ever existed. You know what I mean? That'd be nice. Technically, this film is beautifully made. It was shot by Gordon Willis, although if you watch it on Netflix, you watch it in the wrong aspect ratio because Netflix is a little shit when it comes to aspect ratios. I didn't even realize I was watching it in the wrong aspect ratio because it was a widescreen, but it was supposed to be like Uber 2 to 2.35, and it was at 1.75, and you wouldn't know you had it in the wrong widescreen until you make it to the end credits, and it letterboxes it to the correct widescreen, and I'm like, give me the right aspect ratio from the beginning, Netflix, you little shit. That has nothing to do with the movie, except that it's beautifully shot by Gordon Willis and definitely fits in his canon of beautifully shot 70s cinema. And there's a great score by John Williams. I think most of the men are supposed to be assholes, and you're supposed to think that they're assholes, but it's kind of hard to watch a bunch of assholes being assholes for almost 2 hours. After a while, you're just like, you're all a bunch of assholes, and I don't care that law school is stressful because you're an asshole, and I don't care that you're stressed. But there are moments where the Bottoms character is a very nice dude. So it's like, he gets some nuance because there's moments where he's just a little shit, and then there's moments where he gets to have empathy for his fellow students, and that's nice. You know, you want that, and you want fleshed out characters, right? You'd think, but otherwise the rest of the characters just are kind of flat and one-dimensional little shit faces. But it definitely makes me, yes, I'm cursing a lot. I didn't like any of these guys. What was I going to say? It made me realize that every time I think, oh, I should have gone to law school, I'm like, no, I shouldn't. I don't think I have the brain for law school either. Or at least I don't have the heart for that kind of just utter meanness all the time. I'm a delicate flower. So you can watch this on Netflix, but if you're watching it on Netflix, you're going to get the wrong aspect ratio. So you should find it elsewhere because it's bullshit to be in the wrong aspect ratio. It really pisses me off and does nothing for the art of Gordon Willis. And if you care about that, if I had known that it was in the wrong aspect ratio before I started watching, I wouldn't have finished watching. So this is from 1973. James Bridges is The Paper Chase.